Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name's Bob, I'll be your host. Robotech was a cartoon out in the 80s. It was put out by Harmony Gold. They had collected a couple of different anime from Japan and spliced them together for a brand new cartoon to present to the American market. The Robotech show was pretty popular, and it's well remembered by people who used to watch it. But the story in Robotech was far beyond just a cartoon. It was a very expansive storyline. In it, Earth was attacked by the Zentradi when the SDF-1 showed up, and so they had their war with the Zentradi. And the Zentradi were eventually defeated. Most of the Zentradi defected to the side of the Earthlings and helped the Earthlings clean up some of the remaining Zentradi. And it went as you can think. After that, the Earth got together with some other aliens and created the Sentinels, and they went to take the war to the Robotech Masters. But while the ship was in transit, the Robotech Masters had brought their armies to Earth, and they passed each other, not even knowing. So the Robotech Masters got to Earth, that was missing most of its military forces, and decimated the planet further, and in the end, the Robotech Masters lost and were defeated. Well, years after that, the Earth became overgrown with what is known as the protoculture flower. And the Invid sensed it, and they came to Earth. And they brought millions of Invid with them. And they pretty much decimated what was left of the planet, almost extinguishing all human life on Earth. And in the Invid storyline, the human race is definitely on the ropes. But it's pretty neat. And what we're going to talk about in this video is the Robotech role-playing game Book 5, the Invid Invasion. This book has 112 pages and a copyright of 1989. This is the second printing of the book. It was published by Palladium Games, and all of the artwork in this book is in black and white. And it's pretty decent. So let's go ahead and look at that artwork. This is the first picture we see when we open the book. All of the artwork in this book is in black and white. And it's pretty decent. It's got a Robotech look while maintaining that Palladium feel to the artwork. It does a good job of setting a proper tone and mood for this game, while at the same time giving you a good look at all the different mecha available in this game. To use this book, what you're going to need is, of course, a copy of this book and a copy of the core rulebook for the Robotech role-playing game. You're also going to need a full set of dice. A full set of dice containing a 20-sided die, a 12-sided die, preferably two 10-sided dice for rolling both percentiles and tens, an 8-sided die, a 6-sided die, and a 4-sided die. Now, all the rules you need to play, combat, character creation, stuff like that, is covered in the core rulebook. This book is pretty much kind of a setting, has lots of information in the Invid, has new information for character creation. So we're going to go over character creation, even though it's covered in the core book. First thing you'll want to do to make a character in this game is you'll want to figure up your attributes. The attributes used in this game are the same in all Palladium games. They are intelligence quotient, mental endurance, mental affinity, physical strength, physical prowess, physical endurance, physical beauty, and speed. And the way you figure these up is you roll 3 6-sided dice and add them together, and then you place them in the attributes. Now, if you have an exceptional attribute, which is an attribute that is 16, 17, or 18, then you get to roll a 4th 6-sided die and add that to your attributes total at character creation. And that's how you figure up your attributes. After that, you'll want to pick an OCC. An OCC stands for Occupational Character Class. And the ones used for this game are the REF Veritech Fighter Pilot, the REF Cyclone Rider, the REF Military Specialist, the REF Biomechanical Engineer, the Freedom Fighter / Mercenary, and the non-military personnel. And each of these OCCs will give you your OCC related skills, your secondary skills, and all your starting equipment. Now, after that, you'll want to figure out your hit points. And hit points at character creation are equal to your physical endurance plus 1d6. Every time you gain a level, you get to add 1d6 to your hit points. You also get what's called structural damage capacity, or SDC. And your SDC at character creation is determined by what OCC you pick. And this can be altered by different physical skills you choose. Now, as you gain levels, you don't get any more OCC, right? Any more SDC. Your SDC will stay the same after character creation. And SDC represents minor damage to your character, cuts and abrasions, bruises, and so forth, while your hit points represent the real damage, your broken bones, your internal bleeding, and stuff like that. After you get that taken care of, you'll want to pick an alignment for your character. There are 3 core alignments to this game. They are good, selfish, and evil, just like in all the Palladium games. And each of these are broken up into smaller categories. For good, you have principled and scrupulous. For selfish, you have unprincipled and aberrant, anarchist. And for evil, you have miscreant, aberrant, and diabolic. This book and that's character creation. This book has a bunch of information for the time period of the Invid Invasion. It tells you how much of the Earth was left wasteland, how much is covered by flowers of protoculture, and so forth. It gives you the information on all the mecha used in this game and new equipment for your characters. And this is where the Cyclone motorcycle comes into play a lot. And that's a motorcycle that transforms into battle armor for the humans, which is kind of iconic for Robotech. This book also has a lot of information on the Invid, different mechas they use, equipment, vehicles, and their hierarchy and so forth. And it has information in here on an Invid hive. An Invid hive is kind of like a military base. And you really don't want to go anywhere near an Invid hive unless you're planning on a huge battle. It also has information on what is known as a Genesis pit. And this is an underground place where the Invid make all kinds of creatures, bringing different creatures that are extinct back to life, making mutants, all kinds of weird stuff, and put them in environments that are considered natural so they can study them. And you really don't want to go anywhere near one of those because it's just bad. This book has write-ups for the main characters in the Invid series. So if you wanted to include them in your game, you could. It has some random encounter charts. And it even has a blank character sheet in the back that you can use, photocopy and use. And this brings me to 3 questions. Would I play a character using this book? And I'm going to have to say, yes, I would. I like Robotech, and the Invid Invasion is a very cool time period, very apocalyptic. Would I run a Robotech game using this book? And yes, I would. And I planned to for a long time. I kind of wanted to run a game starting at the beginning of the Robotech saga and moving my way up to the end, but I never could find a group to play. So that makes me a little sad. Would I recommend this book? And if you're a fan of Robotech, I would definitely recommend this book. It's got a lot of neat information on the Invid, so if you're planning on running in that time period, the book is a must-have. So, thank you for joining me at a look at this book, and hopefully you'll join me next time where we'll talk about something else. Bye.